Good evening, I'm Stacey Amos for News Channel 8, and here are the top stories we have for you tonight. The governor gets the ball rolling for our state-of-the-art sports complex. You asked for it, another installment of Potholes in Paradise, and your winning lottery numbers. These stories and more are up next for you on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, Governor John DeYoung scheduled a major press conference earlier today. On the agenda, a multi-million-dollar sports complex for Frederiksted. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story.
Thank you very much, Stacy. You know, the list goes on of who's who from the Virgin Islands for Major League Baseball players. Midray Cummings, Horace Clark, Joe Christopher, many others, even going back to Piggy Gerard. And don't forget Elmo Plaskett East, Elmo Plaskett West. West is where we are today, talking about a sports complex and proposed by Governor John DeYoung and his administration. It's a virtual who's who here. Various senators and dignitaries, including Brad Nugent from tourism. And also the governor will be hearing from himself. But this is a win-win situation as we look at the deplorable conditions of Paulie Joseph Stadium. No reason in the world why Frederiksted should not be the venue of happy carnival times and also Major League Baseball activities, minor league baseball activities, AAA, and don't forget the little ones for Little League and Junior Ball. Soccer and cricket means a lot of financial revenue to our territory. Let's go to the governor for his comments about this sports complex right here in Frederiksted.
When you look at the condition of the stadium and also, quite frankly, the expectation of it, people in the community as to that are vested in tourism and in sports activities, we wanted to do this as soon as we could, but also make sure that we got it done. And we think we have a partner that, one, has experience in doing projects, a local development company, our GEC, that does a lot of projects on the island, so fully aware of construction activity. So we think we have the right team. And the way we're approaching it is I'm going to submit the legislation shortly. And the funding for this project on our side, which is an estimated $50 million project combined, and it's a true public-private partnership, 50-50 for each of us. They're getting their financing privately, and we are looking to leverage our relationship, leverage the revenues that we're getting from the Diageo rum receipts in the future, not even today, in the future. And that 3% of the rum receipts are supposed to go to what's called a community trust fund facilities, which is in the agreement. And that agreement allows us to put it towards events, physical properties, yes. And the first one will be the Paulie Joseph project and this sports complex. So we view that as the way that we'll be able to finance this project. And that's based solely on the success of the Diageo rum sales in the future.
Thank you very much. And now I know when people come from down island for cricket and soccer and so forth, we're going to have a complex, second to none and state of the art.
We have AAA baseball, swimming, beach volleyball, and we will then also have tennis, and we're doing the soccer field in another location. St. Croix is going to do well. I think there's a short-term hiccup, but long-term, it'll be difficult in the short term, but I think long-term, everything is in place for our community to continue to grow.
Housing, Parks, and Recreation Commissioner St. Clair Williams. Well, I was just talking to the governor, and this is certainly a win-win situation. I know you're all smiles, and finally we could put the controversy away about who fixes up what when it comes to the poor, dilapidated situation of Paulie Joseph. I know you're all smiles today.
Most definitely, because over the past 5 years, basically, the Department of Housing, Parks, and Recreation, we have been working diligently to upgrade and repair all of our recreational facilities throughout the territory, and I think we have done a great job of it. The only one entity that really was the problem was the Paulie Joseph Stadium. And we did put out a request for proposal back in 2008, through the Department of Property and Procurement, and we were able to see proposals from various developers, and we were able to recommend a partnership between two of the proposals that really emphasized the baseball stadium and then also created a sports complex, and that is what you have here today. So we're really, really pleased with it.
That's going to make a big financial difference, not only Frederickstead, but to our entire island and territory as well. And I know you have a special place in your heart for the children and the students and the athletes. I was just saying, Piggy Gerard, Joe Christopher, Horace Clark, and the list goes on. I know you could name a lot of them. Even Carmelo Rivera, you know, he's around here somewhere. But it means a lot. We certainly have a lot of sports talent in our territory.
We really do, and I think with having this here at a professional level, the facilities particularly, I think it opened up an opportunity for all of our youth here in the community, and we are really looking forward to that.
Well, it all starts in the architect table, and then it all starts here at Rotary West, where the governor made his plans and initiative to have this multi-million-dollar sports complex here. Good news for our territory, and it's a win-win situation. And back at Paulie Joseph Stadium at Rotary West, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Well, just about everyone agrees that the roads on St. Croix are in really bad shape. Our viewers have spoken, and we heard your complaints. So tonight, News Channel 8's Wes Small files his report on Potholes in Paradise Part 4.
Thank you very much, Stacy, and welcome to Potholes in Paradise Part 4. That's right. I've been doing this for 11 years, and now we are up to Part 4 in Potholes. Today we are in Anna's Hope, Department of Public Works. You see Commissioner Darrell Smalls here, confronted with the Homeowners Association of Williams Delight. My old girlfriend, Miss Blackman, is here. We're going to come in, and this is supposed to be a silent protest. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Maudrey Benjamin. Enough is enough for us also, because we have been spitefully treated, and we have been lied to. We have been promised and promised and promised that we were going to have Williams Delight Road done, and then what we are finding out is that when the contractors come in, they will do 2 roads, and then they leave and they go, and then for 2 years now, we are expecting this Williams Delight Road to be completed. We had, about 3 years ago, Mr. Small came to our meeting, and he told us that he has about $9 billion to complete the road of Williams Delight once and for all. And then he even said that we were going to have it have the public section done as well. However, we were not in favor of that, because we know when we asked for the money, we were asking it for private section, but he said they have gotten $9 million to do the private and public section. I personally asked Mr. Small in that meeting, and I have another lady here who can attest to that. I asked him, do you have the money? Straightforward, he said, I would not come to your meeting and among so many people and tell you that I have the money and I do not have it. So we took him at his word. We took him at his word. And then they sent GC to do some work in the northwest side of Williams Delight. Now, I don't know where they take GC from, because GC is not a pavement company. I don't know where they take them, but they do something which I don't know what kind of work they do. However, up till now, a job that was supposed to take just 9 months took 1 year and 6 months and is still not finished.
Where is the $9 million promised for these people to fix the Williams Delight Road? I imagine that's why they're angry, but I did hear you say about the 2 phases, you know, and you're still working on it. Please tell the public tonight, Commissioner Smalls, what is going on with the poor people in Williams Delight.
Well, I can empathize with the folks of Williams Delight. Williams Delight is an area that has been plagued with bad road conditions for, as you said, many years. Mm-hmm. Upon taking office, as you said, this administration, we identified a total of $6 million, 2 different appropriations, one of $4 million and one of $2 million, of which the Department of Public Works embarked on a 3-phase process. Now, I understand the residents are indicating that there were additional funds. What I can speak of is what I'm aware of. I'm aware of $6 million, of which it was being done in 2 phases, and that we were going after additional funds for a 3rd and final phase. The first phase was the most critical section of Williams Delight, the southwestern section, of which we had 1 contractor, that is GEC, working in that area. And the 2nd phase of work was being done by VA Paving. Mm-hmm. Now, as I've said in many instances before, whether it be the print media or before the legislature, we've indicated that one of the major challenges that you have in Williams Delight is that it's an occupied area, meaning that you have all of the You have all of the infrastructure, not infrastructure, but homes there. And now to put infrastructure in there, we're competing with water lines, sewer lines, all the buried utilities. So when you go in and you try to attempt to do a roadway and you begin excavating, you're running into all of these pipes that you anticipated being at one depth, and they're not at that depth. So you have to go through various changes to get those pipes at a lower depth and then complete the roadway. So I empathize with the community. I understand the challenges that they're being faced, but I want to just reiterate the commitment that the Department of Public Works, along with the Office of the Governor, we are committed to doing what is right for Williams and Light, recognizing the tough economic times that we're faced with right now. We do have $6 million, and we're going to make sure that we expend that $6 million to the fullest extent. Is that going to be sufficient to complete all the work in Williams and Light? No, it's not. There's additional monies that are going to be needed, additional work that's going to be needed, and we are committed to making sure that we can get this done. I can't sit here today and tell you that I have the remaining funds or the remaining funds are available, because as we speak, they're not, but we are working towards getting additional funding necessary to complete the roadways, not just in Williams and Light, but across the territory, because we're faced not only in Williams and Light, we have many other communities and roadways throughout our territory that are in dire need of repairs.
Conditions are getting even worse than it was before, because they dug some road with GC and the condition they left the road is even worse than it was before. Nevertheless, concerning the money that were appropriated, to my knowledge and understanding, it was $9 million, not $6 million. Total, it was supposed to be $9 million according to my knowledge. However, whatever the government did with the money, I don't know. I don't know who to hold responsible for this, but somebody is responsible and somebody know where the money branched out to. But all the money did not stay at William Delight, and it did not do the work in which it was appropriated to do. However, the commissioner can be held responsible for that, because that is his doing in terms of making sure that the contractor, they do their work appropriately. The inspector they have to inspect the locations, the different job site, they're supposed also to be held responsible because the work was not done. Until we don't know up to now what are the details. However, we know one of the contractors walked off the job, and we don't know what happened to the money, how much money he gets. So we have a result. We want the road at William Delight to be completed so that we could enjoy ourselves. We have been suffering so much and too long because of poor management.
Well, that was pretty well said, Ms. Blackman.
To be truthful, West Small, I am just tired and fed up of Williams Delight roads. Now, what I'm saying, asking about GEC now, can Mr. Smalls, can you all work with VI Paving to continue the work what GEC left off?
You're posing a question to me that's really dealing with contracts. I can't just pull one contractor to put him to work on another contractor's area. We are going through the contract administration right now. As I indicated, I know we're going to convene a meeting next week with the various contractors, basically getting an update as to where they're at and the time for completion, of which I will be able to provide that information publicly. But again, I just want to reiterate the commitment of the department and the government of the Virgin Islands to ensuring that we bring relief to the residents of Williams and Light.
Well, again, it is another installment of Potholes in Paradise. This is part 4. Talk to the Williams Delight people. They've gone through 2 or 3 phases. Williams Delight, decades of living in rotten infrastructure. St. Croix, rotten infrastructure. Clifton Hill, Strawberry, Barren Spot. I got to tell you, every time I do a Potholes in Paradise series, this reporter gets inundated with complaints. Well, now's your chance once again. 778-5008, extension 226. That is the newsroom. If you can't get me, I'm probably in the field, so just leave a message. We'll be doing this for the next few days. What we're going to bring you next will simply amaze you. Stay with me, and this first installment in Potholes in Paradise, numero 4.
Thanks, Wes. And if you know a neighborhood or an area that has bad potholes, then call the News Channel 8 line at 778-5008, extension 226. Or if you're on Twitter, feel free to tweet me directly at Stacey Amos, #VI Potholes. And please know we'll be focusing on this all next week, so please give us a call or give me a shout out on Twitter. Also, Governor John DeYoung realizes our St. Croix roads are not up to par. Here's Wes Small again.
You know, we're getting a lot of complaints from people about our roads and so forth. And we did talk to Commissioner Darrell Smalls earlier today by Public Works, because, you know, the Williams Delight Homeowners Association were kind of pressuring him and so forth. What have you to say about the overall condition of the infrastructure in the road?
No, I mean, clearly, right now, the commissioner has spoken to me about it, and what we're trying to do is to work with the commissioner and maybe go to the legislature and see where can we identify pockets of funding that will allow us not to be able to do major road construction, but to at least to be able to address some of the conditions that now exist, from the potholes to some of the curbing work and everything else. And so he's brought that to my attention. Now it's just a matter of identifying the funding. What we'll probably have to do is take from some other projects that may not be totally funded, or we think that there's some surplus left, and use it towards these purposes. But we have to deal with the roads.
Governor John DeYoung and Rotary West, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Wes. And coming up, some happy graduates. Community Emergency Response Team held a graduation ceremony for 38 proud and happy students of Elena Christian Junior High School. News Channel 8's Wes Small has more.
Thanks a lot, Stacy. You might remember last week that we alluded to the fact that today is graduation day here at Elena Christian Junior High School of Teen CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team. The Lieutenant Governor, Greg Francis, is here, other dignitaries, including the Director of VITEMA, Elton Lewis. And I want to just say congratulations to the 38 Teen CERT graduates under teacher Steve Bullock, you know, with the rocket program, the science teacher here. You know, it's just very good. We want to thank FEMA, VITEMA, St. Croix Rescue, the fire department, and of course the Department of Education. Let's right now go to VITEMA Director, Executive Director, Elton Lewis, as he congratulates the Teen CERT program.
Your training has prepared you to care for your family, your friends, your parents during a disaster or other emergencies while we wait for first responders. Because of your CERT training, you will play a very important part in your school emergency response plan. You'll be given special assignments, such as assisting functional and access needs students. In times of disaster, you will help each other. With your training, you can help your family members, your neighbors, and your friends operate in a very safe and proper way. Because you are practicing your skills, and you will continue to practice your skills that you have acquired during the last week.
I want to first of all say, students, congratulations. You've made us. Give yourself a round of applause. Last week when we met, I gave you a challenge that the 36 of you that were here, I expected to see you back here this morning receiving your certificates. And lo and behold, I'm hearing we have some 38 folks here. So you went ahead and recruited additional 2 people. So that is fantastic, because now you showed me that you have 100%, over 100% of what we had last week. So give yourself a round of applause.
We have confidence in you, that we know you are confident in what needs to be done. But you were given a kit. You know, when I came in during the hallway, I asked some of you about your equipment. I asked you about your helmet. I asked you about your goggles, the gloves, flashlights. It's your equipment. Don't just take it home or take it to school and stick it in a corner. You have to make sure each piece of equipment in that bag, you make sure it's operational. The flashlight carry batteries is not going to last forever. What I've done in my kit, I took my battery out of the flashlight and I have the battery separate. Because you know, in a tropical climate, it's hot, it's warm. But I protect my equipment that was given to me by VITEMA. So you all need to do the same thing.
The first student who completed the CPR is Luz de los Santos. Milton Payne. Dante Harris. Tiana Joseph. Genesis Matos. Do we have Kishan Abel here? Kishan?
In addition to the certifications, Vitima is also going to issue the official Teen Cert identification card that can be used during times of disaster for identification to get you to the EOC or to get you to an incident site to respond to issues with regards to disaster response. This is not to use for play or games. This is an official government ID that would allow you to pass curfew lines and get you to Vitima EOC in the event of a disaster.
Congratulations to the students and the parents and the teachers here at Elena Christian with this life-saving service. At Elena Christian Junior High School, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And we congratulate each one of those graduates. Coming up, your winning lottery numbers. And here are your lottery numbers. First prize, 22783 for $175,000. Second prize, 15227 for $65,000. Third prize, 12406 for $40,000. Fourth prize, 10249 for $30,000. And last but certainly not least, fifth prize, 14721, $20,000. And our next drawing is March 1st.